Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Multiplayer, the podcast by gamers for gamers. I am your host, Zach Matscanis, alongside the lover boy himself, Javier Ortiz.
What's good, buddy?
Yo, I feel like it's been, ages.
It's been a while, It's that time of the year where people are traveling, seeing family, getting sick,
Getting sick. Oh,
yeah.
And, so everybody, as you may or may not know it, it's been a few weeks. We kind of took a little time off to, our work gets a little busy this time of year. Holidays are just insane for I would say a lot of industries, but definitely the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we've been doing some traveling. We've both kind of been in and out of the state over the last few weeks here. So apologies for the long delay, but hopefully it was well worth it. We're like a fine wine, it's like the longer it takes for us to do another episode, it gets better.
Well,
I don't know.
It's like that old saying, the absence makes the heart grow fonder,
Word.
So that's it. It just makes you...
I feel that.
Yeah, you just miss somebody even more.
And remember, everybody, that Multiplayer is all over the place in your ears and in your face. You can check us out over at youtube.com/multiplayer, where you can see our ugly mugs. You can see my hair getting wildly long. I don't know what's going on. I really need to get a haircut, but I need a new haircut person.
I just go to Supercuts.
I know. You sometimes you even go to the haircut school where you go get a $2 haircut.
Yeah, that's when I was poor.
Now you've upgraded to the $5 haircut. So.
Yeah, Supercuts, baby. The chain.
Yeah, I need to find somebody to cut all this craziness off my head. But yeah, you can also check us out on podcast services everywhere. Pick a podcast service, type in Multiplayer. Don't forget the ED on the end, and you will most likely find us for your earballs. And what else? We got an Instagram and all that fun stuff. We're everywhere. Echo Multiplayer.
Yeah.
Check us out on those things. And then Hav, before we get into how you been, what you've been playing, all that, some quick housekeeping, a bit of an announcement. Patreons, you already kind of know a bit about this, but essentially the plan as of right now. So first off, this is episode 97 of Multiplayer. Woo!
Yeah.
Almost hitting that hundo mark. So basically the future plan for Multiplayer as of right now is there's 3 weeks left in the year right now. We're going to hit episode 100, and I think that's kind of a nice milestone for us as two individuals just kind of doing this in our free time and all that. And I know, at least for me, speaking for me personally, I'll feel pretty darn accomplished with what we set out to do with at least knocking out 100 episodes of a show. I mean, I think that's a feat in and of itself.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And literally we've been doing this for since 2017, I think, something like that, on and off.
Yeah, something like that.
So essentially the plan, kind of going into next year, me personally, I don't want to speak for you, Hav. Me personally, there's a few projects I'm going to be looking to kind of do as far as kind of jumping back into producing feature film, short film, stuff like that. And I want to spend some time and energy on getting some of those projects off the ground. And it's one of those unfortunate things right now in my life, something has to give. And sometimes that's the thing that you have to give is something you love, like this podcast. It definitely takes time and energy and even money each and every week to produce this. So I want to kind of pause the show at 100 episodes, but that doesn't mean we won't be back in the future. There's always the chance for us to come back. We've done it before, rise from the ashes like a phoenix, and jump back into this. So I'm hoping down the line, things will kind of slow down a little bit, and we can kind of get back into, recording the show. And I'd love to do it in the same room again. We've been doing it, kind of in our own homes the past however long year and some change.
Yeah, remote.
But yeah, Yeah, the old remote shoots. But yeah, man, I'd love to do it back on the game couch again.
I strive for a day where you and I can maybe just pull in a normal 40-hour work week and not have to worry about sleep and just doing normal human things.
For sure.
I know it seems like an excuse, but man, we really, both of us, like, our work outside of this, like our normal jobs, like, it's a lot. Like we pull in a lot of hours, and it just, it takes away from just, we both have personal lives, and it's tough to just balance things when just work determines so much. And I think that speaks more towards, job, work lifestyle in American society, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, the work-life balance is definitely tough, and yeah, sometimes you kind of gotta put something on the back burner to kind of reprioritize and figure out like what should be your next step in like your career and all that, all those adult things. So basically all of like next year, it's I'm trying to figure all that out.
Being grown up is dumb.
I know. It's like I got to figure out like the whole buying a house thing and stuff like that. It's like all this like
taxes.
Yeah, it's all gross. Which is why I like to talk about video games.
It is fun.
Yeah, just like get on the mic and kind of just chat about stuff that literally does not matter.
Matters to a lot of people.
Oh, sure. But, in the grand scheme of things.
Sure.
But, you got to have those fun hobbies. But, yeah, I'm sure we will be back in the future producing more multiplayered. Yeah, it's just something that, like, right now, I think it's, I need to kind of reprioritize my my life, at least for right now. So, definitely stay tuned, but stick around for these last 3 episodes because, I think they're going to be bangers just like the rest. And yeah, so. Yeah. Woo. So, that's the show. Goodbye.
Good talk.
No, so we have a good show today. So basically the Game Awards just happened, this past week, and, man, there's a lot of stuff going on there. So I wanna chit chat about the Game Awards. But before we get into that, Hav, it's been a minute since we've done an episode, but also it's been a minute since we've even talked.
For sure.
We've both been busy with work and also going in and out of town. So I wanted to touch base and say, what up, dude? How's it going? How's life?
Oh, man, not too bad. Can't complain. I got sick. Feel a little better. Not COVID, thankfully. Just like a normal person head cold. But can't complain. I think last time we spoke, I said that I was playing Resident Evil or one of the Resident Evils.
Yeah, I think you were playing. You've just finished 2 or about to start 3.
Yeah. So I did both those remakes like that. I would say October through November, I went hardcore into playing Resident Evil games again.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I played the 2 and 3 remake, then I played through 4. I bought it on my PS5, even though I have it on my Switch, just because it's like, you know what? Might as well buy it a 5th time in my life.
Capcom's like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah. I was like, I also have the GameCube disc if I wanted to pop it in, or discs. So I played 2, 3. I played through 4. I played the Mercenaries mode on 8 because I don't think I tried that before. I got pretty good at it, so that was super fun. And then I started playing 0 on my computer. Ooh. I bought it on Steam because it was on sale. I haven't finished that one yet though, and I think that's all the RE games I went through October and November. But nice. As soon as December started, I started my yearly tradition. I started playing Batman Arkham Origins because it's my favorite Christmas game. Nice. Luckily it's available on PS Now, the subscription service, which it really bothers me. So I don't understand why they don't give that game a port, to PS5. Like they did the whole Arkham trilogy, but Arkham
it's
Origins, like,
it's
I
the
don't
black
know.
sheep of the family.
I don't know why. It's like, I don't know what WB Montreal is doing, in their meantime. It's like, I don't understand why they can't just, like, re-release it on current gen.
Well, I guess WB Montreal is making that new Batman game.
Yeah, but that's, like, about to come out. The Gotham Knights game.
Yeah.
That's like, this doesn't require any work. I feel like this is just the push of a button. Like, yeah, we could put it on current gen. Like, I don't know. So I've been playing through that, and then halfway through, I decided that I have another favorite Christmas game, which I didn't realize, but I played through it last year, and it's the Miles Morales Spider-Man game.
Ooh,
like that takes place during Christmas, and like I didn't even think about that. But as I was playing Arkham Origins, I was like, you know what, Spider-Man is a Christmas game technically. So I played through that again. The nice thing about that game is like you can finish it in like 2 days, and it doesn't feel old at all. Like it's just such a good game. It's so clean. Like how they designed that game. It's so like it's just so seamless and so perfect. Like you can just pick it up and it just feels good. Like combat, swinging, it's all great, and it's great voice acting. It's just great little story. It's awesome. So yeah, I went through Miles Morales Spider-Man. I'm almost through Arkham Origins, and I also, because I played the Miles Morales game, I started playing the Spider-Man original Spider-Man 2018, the remastered edition, because it came with my Miles Morales game. And I forgot, I forgot that they changed his face. And so when I saw it, I was like, it surprised me. Totally changed his face. But yeah, so I've been, replaying stuff. And then once I go through my Christmas games, I don't know, I have to get back to my backlog, which is already super long and filled with games. So I might pick up Returnal. I might pick up the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I haven't decided what my next game after my Christmas break is.
Sure. Well, first off, favorite Resident Evil out of the ones you played?
I mean, 4. I like replaying through 4. I was like, man, this is it's just so perfect.
It's
it's just I love, and they did a really good job with the 2 and 3 remakes. Like those games are they're very easy to pick up and just play through them. And 8 is, it's like 4, just first person and a little more scarier. But man, 4 is it's just so perfect, Like you've got, it's such a simple plot, it's cool character. You got Leon, you got his knife, which I love, because I didn't love in the RE2 where it breaks, and you're just picking up knives constantly. That's annoying. But man, Leon, his knife, rescuing the president's daughter, zombies, it's just so ridiculous.
Actually, I did a playthrough of Resident Evil 4 back in the day where I did an only knife run.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the only time I used an actual weapon was for the parts where you have to, like this, when, there's a part with the sniper rifle where, like, Ashley's, being chased on the bridge or whatever, and you have to use the sniper. But other than that, I did a full knife run through that game. And
what about the bosses?
The bosses, everything, it was tough.
I didn't even know that was possible. I thought some of the bosses you had to shoot them.
Well, there's certain bosses, you have to use certain weapons at certain times. So basically, outside of the very specific moments where you have to use a gun for something,
right?
It's all a knife.
Damn, that's
and suplexes.
That's gotta be really difficult.
I did the same thing with Resident Evil 5. I went through that whole game with just the stun rod, and basically I was playing with. Through that game with an ex of mine, and I basically just gave her every single gun. She's just loaded up to the teeth with rocket launchers and machine guns, and I just have a stun rod, and I'm just going around hitting people and uppercutting them and whatever else Chris does.
That's awesome. Just punching boulders and punching waves of zombies.
100%. So I kind of want to. I wish I could do something like that and something like RE2, but your knife breaks. It's silly.
Yeah, man, I hated that. I was like, damn it, always so inconvenient.
Yeah, I always need a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happens in 0 and 1, where it's it's basically your counter move is to stab like a zombie in the head, but then your knife breaks. And it's like, where are they buying these cheap knives?
Dude, man, the thing about Zero that's really bothering me, like I know your inventory is always limited, but good lord, like it's like you can literally carry one weapon. And then and you got just so much other crap to carry with you. It's just so annoying.
And there's no actual like inventory.
Yeah, you're just dropping things on the floor, and then you're like, oh man, I should go back and get that one thing.
Yeah, dude, it happened to me. Like, I dropped like a key or something by mistake, and I just could not find it again. I was like wandering around for like hours, like looking for this stupid key. It sucked.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about that. It's like, come on, just give me like a box or something just to store all this crap in. Like,
yeah,
but
sure.
Besides that, it's still fun.
Yeah, no, those games are great. And just to kind of touch on what I've been playing. So first off, I've played through Metroid Dread.
Oh, nice.
Holy cow, is that game fan-frickin-tastic.
Yeah, really liked it?
That game is stellar. Like, and what's a shame is I almost dropped it probably about half an hour in. I was just getting real frustrated with the stupid robots that are chasing you around. And because they're basically like Nemesis or like Mr. X, where it's just like you can't kill them for a while, and so it's just like annoying trying to like get through these certain parts. But something clicked, and kind of the same thing happened with Returnal, where it's like it was real tough at first, but then something clicked, and it's like, oh, I need to be playing the game a little more like this. And like once I found that sweet spot, the game got fantastic, and
nice.
And now I'm playing through the game on hard mode. I'm trying to beat it under 4 hours to get like all the extra bonus goodies at the end. And now I can just fly through that game. I feel like a speedrunner, like just coasting through that game now. But it's awesome. That game is really good. It's a beautiful game. I wish it was in 4K. Obviously, I understand why it's not, but yeah, it's like it's beautiful on the OLED screen, but then you stick it on the TV, and I have a really nice like OLED TV, but it's like a 55-inch 55-inch LG OLED, but everything's kind of washed out a little bit because it's it's a 1080 game,
right,
but looks fantastic, real pretty. I mean, the game solid 60 FPS, and
nice.
It feels good to just run around and shoot. The movement's fantastic. I think just all around, it's an awesome game. Boss fights are awesome. Love the ending. Like, everything stellar. Like, A+ game in my book. I got, other than like the learning curve at the beginning, it's like that game is damn near perfect. The game is super good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was real happy with that game. And then I've also been playing on my quest to play through the Halos.
Oh gosh.
I've been so I was playing through 4 and I got real bored and I was like, I'm just gonna not play this anymore. I was like, I think I've had my fill of like these Halos, and but I started playing through the Halo Infinite multiplayer, which is free to play, and they basically set it up like pretty much every other like free to play game, where it's a lot like Apex Legends. Like it feels like they just took Apex Legends and just slapped
Halo characters.
Yeah, so not as far as like the gameplay, but as far as like how the battle pass works, and just kind of the nuts and bolts of like the layout of things, of like
right.
Of how the free to play model works, and so there's some good things and some bad things about this multiplayer mode. I guess I'll mention the bad stuff first. No, I'll start with the good stuff. So first off, if you're looking for a classic like Halo feel, it's there. Like, it feels like an old school Halo game. So if you like
good.
love Halo, yeah, I mean, they did a great job making it feel like old school Halo, but giving it that like quality of life improvements to it. And also, like, man, I haven't played like a good capture the flag game in the longest time. Like, when was the last time you played like a good capture the flag game in a video game? Probably been forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, did Banjo Tooie have capture? No. Either way, that's going a long way back.
Yeah, it's going a long way
back.
I mean, really, like, my favorite capture the flag memories are from like Time Splitters 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's it. Time Splitters had a good one.
Nightfire, like the James Bond game Nightfire, had like amazing multiplayer with like capture the flag in it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I used to play a lot of like Halo capture the flag back in the day with friends, and yeah, you know, there just hasn't been a good capture the flag game in a long time. You know, Overwatch tried to do it a little bit. They came out with that capture the flag mode, and it's just like, man, I wish this was good.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Yeah. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. So, so if you're looking for that, old school feel, it's there. Like, if it feels good to jump in and play, you know, what feels like an old game again, like. And I forgot to say, like, Tribes and Unreal Tournament, I think, are like the absolute peak of like capture the flag games.
Sure.
I mean, those games are just like Tribes 2 is freaking fantastic, and the capture the flag in that game is super fun. So to kind of just have a game that kind of kicks it old school like that is like it's nice for fun days, but for a few days, but you know, I think it's already like wearing thin, where it's just like, all right, you know, the big problem, and one of the things I think, like, why I feel like Overwatch does such a good job and is like still relevant even like 5+ years later, and like I could still keep going back to that game, is like it's just got like such a so much like attention to detail, and like the characters are interesting and the world's interesting. And I feel like in Halo, you're just like some guy with a helmet on, and
yeah,
you know, you're just basically playing like a faceless, like, you know, Spartan dude running around like grabbing flags and shooting people in the face, and you know, there's just not much there. And they added a little bit more lore behind the multiplayer with like you being like almost like a Spartan trainee kind of thing, and I do like that addition to it, but it was just like, there's not enough there on the character side, where I feel like I'm, you know, an individual, you know, person. And then on top of that, you know, it's just like we've basically have evolved from like very basic, I think, team deathmatch and capture the flag type games, at least in certain aspects, and which is why I think, once again, I think something like Overwatch just hits like such a like a new level. Like, this is like the next step in like multiplayer games.
Yeah, team based.
Yeah, exactly. Like team based games. It's you know, a little more objective based, and a little less about like you just run around and like shooting people in the face.
Right.
And you know, there's still those people that like that stuff, or like Call of Duty and whatnot. I don't get it. But you know, I think there's just like, there's bigger and better games out there, but it's fun to kind of like jump into for a little bit.
Sure.
Last thing I'll say on Halo, before we move on, is just like, I hate the stupid free to play thing. It's like, I really wish, like, you know, like it works for Fortnite and Apex Legends and stuff, but I really wish like everybody would stop copying and pasting the same stupid like layout, where it's like, here's the battle pass, and you know, you can level up, you know, 50 levels or 100 levels, and on each level you get a new, you know, shoulder pad, or
here's
like
all
whatever.
The goodies,
and like, here's the things you get for free. But if you pay $10 for the battle pass, and you get this, that, and the other, and bonus XP and all, it's like, dude, just like let me spend $60 on your game and just give me the stuff. Like, I don't want any, like, once again, I keep going back to Overwatch, but like I paid that for that game once, and they just release like cool stuff. And if I happen to be there for the event, sweet, I got that stuff. And then they do have like some paid things, and sometimes I'll buy like a $10 May skin because it's adorable. But But other than that, like the game's just like it's just there,
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry about all this junk. And it's also like it's literally just copy and paste in every game, like Fortnite and Halo and Apex Legends, and I'm assuming PUBG and what's it called is like this, the Knockout Cities like this, and what's the one with the jelly bean people?
Free Guy? Or
Fall Guys.
Fall Guy.
So Fall Guys like the same thing, where it's just this free to play game. Here's the battle pass. You get these like extra little costumes if you pay like the $10 for the battle pass and all this. It's like every game. It's like copy and paste the same formula, and it's like, I wish you would just do something different. Like I know it works.
That's how they make money.
But it's like boring to look at. It's
sure.
Like, it's also like beyond confusing. Like I don't know like what I'm getting half the time.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a big mess, and it's like, oh, you get like bonus XP for this, that, and the other. It's like, Overwatch just makes it simple. It's like you just
pick a character,
progress,
play the game.
Character,
yeah,
play the game. You can get some skins if you like get loot boxes or like collect gold.
Yeah,
and it's like way simpler. So.
Yeah, when I prefer my RPG elements in an RPG where I'm by myself and I can build my character and experiment in the world rather than, worrying about loadouts and then not being able to experiment really well because you just die. Like, it's hard to do that in a live environment. So I've never been a fan of that. But I will say, speaking of Overwatch, I did pop that in 2 days ago, and the experimental mode right now is pretty wild. Like,
yeah,
they changed a bunch of stuff. Like Reinhardt's got 2 fire strikes.
Dang.
Yeah, you can like charge and stop your charge. One of my favorite things is Sigma. They took away his shield. It's just for experimental.
Oh,
but like,
yeah.
His he's got that power to absorb like projectiles. And when he does it in this mode, like his speed increases like 100%, so you can just like zip around real quick, just like absorbing bullets. Like Mei, if you jump on people in your ice block, it does like a ton of damage. If you just kill people by jumping on them in your ice block mode, and like same thing with Lucio when he drops the beat. If you drop it on somebody, it's like they just die. Yeah, the experimental mode it's pretty fun right now. Like they just changed a bunch of stuff, and it's just fun just to mess around with it. One of my favorite things is like Roadhog is his ultimate is that that whole hog where he just like if you point it at the ground you can like fly. it's really funny because like I did that the other night where I tried it and I was just like flying and like raining bullets over people for like a couple seconds. But like that. The experimental mode, I would say, if you got a minute, check it out because it's really wild right now, and like they changed. Yeah, they changed so much, and it's pretty fun. Like, and it's all around. Like they changed up stuff for the support and DPS and tanks. It made it a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But for the sake of time, let's go ahead and move on. So yeah, this past week, the Game Awards happened. That was a thing.
Yeah.
So at the Game Awards, 2 things typically happen. Awards are given.
And Jeff Keighley makes jokes.
But also just like everything under the sun is like announced or there's like a trailer for it. It's just like half commercial, half like award show.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's how they pay for the show. It's just like
I mean all the trailers and ads and like even like like I think the Sonic movie trailer was there as well. Like a bunch of different stuff. Which by the way, that looks really funny.
Yeah, for sure. So, so basically, I wanted to kind of talk about some of these trailers, and I've got this list in front of me, so I figured we could just kind of like fly through some of these, and I'll get your thoughts on some of this, and I'll give you some of my thoughts. So, first off, and I think this is probably my big, like the trailer I thought was like the most interesting, is the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League trailer. And
yeah, I saw that.
So first off, I think that's like that trailer is pretty perfect. Where like, man, I just hate cinematic trailers, and that's like a whole other like tangent.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those in this show, and it's just like, at the end of the day, your game is a game.
Yeah.
Some gameplay.
Yeah, the cinematic stuff just kind of, it means nothing. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like, oh, that's cool. So what's the game like?
Yeah, exactly. So, I think this trailer showed off a good amount, where it's like they showed a little bit of like cinematic stuff, but then they showed some like actual gameplay. And man, that game is looking great. Like,
yeah, it looks like
crushing it.
It looks like a lot of fun, and like I like the different like dynamics. It seems interesting. It seems like kind of you got like your tactical sniper guy with Deadshot, and your King Shark is just your tank. It just runs around eating people, and like Harley Quinn seems kind of like Glass Cannon ish, and then Captain Boomerang. I think he's gonna be
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, he's just Captain Boomerang. I think he's gonna be like the engineer kind of guy.
Sure.
Where he's just like have different weird items.
Yeah, it's still like unclear if it's like a co-op game or if you're swapping between these characters.
Yeah. I really hope it's co-op. That seems like super fun.
Yeah. So we'll see, but I think regardless, like either or, the gameplay looks really, really tight.
Yeah.
The world looks really pretty. That game, I'm super excited. I didn't really care too much until I saw that trailer, and now I'm like, I'm just all in for that.
Yeah, I'm really hoping there's really cool boss fights, because if it's supposed to be fighting the Justice League, I'm really hoping for interesting, like, and Rocksteady, they've already done really good boss fights for Batman, so I'm hoping for some really cool boss fights when you're flipping the script and it's like you're just fighting the Justice League, and so see how that dynamic works, because I know this one revolved around like the Flash, so it'd be cool to see how they introduce, like, oh man, it'd be so cool. Imagine if you fight Green Lantern, like the stuff that they would just get away with just because he could just do kind of anything, like imagination. Like that'd be super interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm really excited to see more from this game. But yeah, it looks great. Looks, fast paced. Great combat. All that fun stuff.
Agreed.
So moving on, there was I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but they announced Star Wars Eclipse, which is a game by Quantum Dream.
I saw that. A lot of drums.
A lot of drums.
A lot of drums in that trailer.
So, I'm assuming this will be very Quantum Dreams like in gameplay, where it's like a lot of choices and stuff. So
yeah,
could be I don't know, could kind of be interesting within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I mean, there's no gameplay, so we'll see.
We'll see. Speaking of no gameplay, you got Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, that was just like a teaser. Just like, here's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's like, here's what Wonder Woman looks like. Yeah, we know. We've known what Wonder Woman looks like for like 80 years.
Yeah, but this is her like CG.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
With that Wonder Woman game.
Who's developing that one?
It's the people that developed Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, the Shadow of Mordor. Yeah.
So
that's right.
Monolith Productions.
That's a good game.
I'm actually pretty excited for that team. They're pretty solid. So it'd be cool to play a really good Wonder Woman game. So
yeah,
we'll see. Let's see. There was one for like Alan Wake 2, which looked creepy.
I never played the first one.
Yeah. One of those cult classic kind of games.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because I know like you said, cult classic. I know it has a pretty loyal following.
Yeah, I mostly am just I'm happy for Remedy because like I feel like they're really just shining right now. They had their game Control, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but they always just put out some like interesting
creative choices.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they put out interesting video games, so it's just like it's nice to see, like a smaller company just take chances on like interesting, weird, video games, and it definitely has its audience.
Wasn't there an Alan Wake thing recently? Sorry, like I don't know if it was VR.
It was DLC for Control.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So. Next we have Forspoken, which is an interesting one.
That game looks good.
Yes. So it kind of looks like, it's like a third person open world game with like magic. You're playing some lady from
Magic Lady.
Day, and she kind of gets sucked into this thing, Narnia style, and then she's got like magic powers and riding around, and everybody has British accents.
I'm all in. Don't we all wish that would happen to us, where we're just like on the bus or something, and then next thing we know, we're in a fantasy world with dragons and magic? I know I do.
And British people.
And British people.
Yeah. I've never understood why, like, every fantasy world has to have like British accents. It's like you could basically come up with like anything. Like
that's very true. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine. It's just like you don't need these British accents. Like, it's a fantasy world. You could literally come up with your own accent, or you could do anything.
Yeah, you really could. There's no rules.
Yeah. So yeah, that's looking interesting. We'll see. That could be like a pretty stellar game next year, and it's coming out May of next year, May 24th. So looking interesting. Then there's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre was announced, which I
told you, like, that watching that trailer is like, man, it wasn't creepy at all. Like there was no scariness to it. They like. I understand, like, there's one moment where a person gets dragged away, and then there's a person, like, hanging, like, upside down or something.
Hanging
and then
from a hook.
Yeah, Leatherface comes out with a chainsaw. But, like, I was telling you, like, usually horror movies or, like, horror games, it's dirty and grimy, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, but that just looked like a normal house. Yeah. Like a normal basement. But clean.
Trailer for the kids.
Yeah, I guess. I was watching, I was like, man, this isn't really creepy at all. Like,
yeah. But I think it's kind of funny. So it's it's a game from the creators of Friday the 13th, the game, and I think it's going to be very similar, where it's like,
oh yeah,
like a 1v4 type situation where you're just running from Leatherface, and like kind of all over this trailer, they're just like a game based on true events. It's like
that's right. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's like very loosely based on true events, but also it's like, did you make it like video games about like people getting murdered and stuff? It's like, maybe just skip the based on true events. You and your like 13-year-old friends are gonna run around like telling poop jokes and murdering each other based on true events.
Very true.
So I don't know. I'm sure it'll be a fun game, but like, I don't know. They could have just like removed that part.
Yeah.
And then the other trailer I was super excited to see was Senua's Saga Hellblade 2.
Oh yeah, that was a long one. That was cool. They had like the giant
10-minute trailer.
yeah, it was long. I remember watching that one. Man, it looks great. I can't that game. The first game's already like damn near perfect, but
yeah,
I'm excited about that. I love in it, like, you hear the voices like the entire time. There's just voices going on. It's like, he hears you, he sees you. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and man, it really feels like they're scaling up on this game.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's gonna be big.
Yeah, so it seems like a creepier God of War.
Yeah, that's you're exactly right.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
Although it's interesting that she's with like people.
Yeah, for sure. It's like they're kind of adding people into this world. Like in the last game, you weren't sure like what was in her head and what was like. Yeah,
but it was also like, wasn't she? She was like outcast, wasn't she? Like,
something like that. Because I think she was like, she had that disease, the rot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd have to go and revisit that game again. I can't remember if she was an outcast or if she just kind of ventured off on her own to.
I thought they like outcast her or something because of like the demons or.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while, but yeah, there's a good reason to revisit the game.
I'm definitely gonna play that game again right before Senua's Sacrifice comes out.
Yeah,
I am all in on that game.
Yeah, looks fantastic.
And then there was a first look trailer for Halo, the TV series.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, not much happening. Some like sci-fi stuff, and then like.
Is it live action?
Live action.
Oh.
coming to Paramount Plus TV or whatever.
Another stream service.
Another stream. Can we just let's just go back to cable at this point. It's just this is just annoying.
There's too many.
So, I mean, first look, not too much going on in that trailer. They showed Master Chief. He looks right.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then moving on to Elden Ring. That's looking...
Can't wait for that game.
Looks stellar. I'm not even like a big Soulsborne type guy, but, that trailer was looking pretty good for Elden Ring.
Hell yeah, man. Anything, if it's like the spiritual... Is it the same guy that did Bloodborne? I know it's the same, the same developers, but I don't know if it's the same guy. I forget his name.
Like the same, director or whatever?
Yeah, because, isn't it the story? It's like he did the first Souls game, but then he didn't do the second one because of, creative differences, and then so he did Bloodborne. I could be making all this up. I'm pretty sure, though, that there's a little bit of drama there in that story, and, he did, Bloodborne as, the spiritual successor. That's the true Dark Souls sequel, and...
Interesting.
I think so. I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere before. Either way, though, Elden Ring looks awesome, and I love Bloodborne, so if it's like Bloodborne, love it.
Here's a fun one for you. Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, baby.
Because, they've never gotten a 3D Sonic game correct, so why not just up the ante? Just go open world and have it run around.
But I will say, if it's open world, that gives you the chance to actually move fast and feel like you're moving fast, and hopefully there's nothing in your way that stops you from going fast.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's in theory it sounds interesting, but I feel like it's just going to be a world where not too much is in it, and so you're just running around.
A little hollow.
Yeah, a little hollow.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Let's give Sonic Team a chance.
We'll see, man. I've given them a chance for 30 years.
Yeah, they got my money again with Sonic Colors, and man, I forgot about that game. I went through that game as well, and I'm gonna tell you something. That credit sequence, that might be the longest credit sequence I've ever have to sit through. It's a long credit sequence. It's like a half hour.
Yeah. Huh. That's weird.
It is. It's really weird.
Let me see if there's any other standouts in this. So there was a cinematic look at the Gollum game, which looks like Gollum being
Gollum game.
Yeah, they're making a Gollum game.
Why?
What
do you do?
It's a stealth action game.
What are you just eating fish and living in the mountain caves?
I guess. So I don't know. We'll see. Then there's another look at Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which still looks great.
Oh yeah, that's the Borderlands, right? The spin-off. Yeah. The D&D thing. Yeah, that does look cool.
Yeah. There's this Star Trek game from the Telltale, from basically the veterans over at Telltale.
I was gonna say they exist again.
They do technically, but this is not Telltale. This is veterans from Telltale.
Right.
But it's I don't know. The game is either early or it just doesn't look that great.
Well, a Star Trek Telltale game makes sense because Star Trek was always more talking than action, so it was kind of boring. For me, I know there's a lot of people who love Star Trek, but
yeah,
it was too much talking for me. So it makes sense for a Telltale game.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's good.
Yeah.
So there was one game I wanted to point out. I don't know if you saw this trailer for a game called Arc Raiders.
No, I did not.
So it's kind of interesting. If I would look it up later. It's basically it's a studio founded from former DICE and Battlefield developers, and it's I think it's a 4-person PvE type game, and it looks kind of cool. The minute to minute kind of action and gun battles and stuff look pretty solid in this trailer, and kind of the artistic direction looks pretty interesting as well. So I would take a look at that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures right now. It looks interesting.
Yeah. So might be something that is, it could be like a sleeper hit next year. So we'll see.
Nice.
And then there was like a trailer for Tunic that just kind of looks like Zelda. There's some Cuphead DLC stuff that looked great. You've already mentioned Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh yeah, the movie.
The movie trailer looked.
It looks wild.
Looks interesting. Jim Carrey is, Eggman is perfect.
I love that they're leaning into like a lot of the gameplay elements. Like even when it comes down to Sonic on Tails' plane, that's like Sonic 3. That's how the game starts. You're on the plane and you just jump off, and it's not technically Knuckles was a villain before he was a good guy. So
for sure.
Why not? It's fun.
And then last two things I wanted to mention. One was there was a reveal at the Game Awards for this Matrix like interactive experience that was built in the Unreal 5 engine. And it's free to download, so you can get it on PS5, or I downloaded it to my Series X because I just happened to be on that the day I was looking at it. And it's just like this. It's weird. It's just like Keanu Reeves and I'm forgetting her name, but the lady that plays Trinity, something Moss, I believe. They're just like talking, but I think they're completely CG, rendered in like Unreal Engine 5, and it's like pretty darn realistic. I was trying to figure out if it was like CG or if they were real.
Oh wow, nice.
And then it jumps into like an actual playable sequence where you're like driving around in a car, like shooting at agents and stuff, and then you like after that is done, you get out of this car, and then you're in an entire open world, like you're in an entire city.
Wow.
And you could just like walk around. You could leave your character and like just take the camera and just move around the world and basically drop your character anywhere. You could like take a car, like steal a car and drive around.
Oh,
it's
cool.
It's kind of like it's bare bones as far as like what you can do in the world. Like you can't just be like karate chopping people, doing backflips and running up buildings. But like the fact that they just like built this like entire city is just wild, because that's all this is. It's just like basically like a tech demo. It's just like,
wow,
you have a whole city here. You guys could do something with this. So I don't know. Maybe there's like a Matrix game in the works with that city. But right now, all it is like a free to download like interactive experience. So
that's
I recommend
cool.
just like
I'm gonna download it.
Yeah, download it, check it out. It's just kind of cool to if you're a Matrix fan, it's cool to just kind of check out and kind of see what the Unreal Engine 5 engine can do.
Sure.
It's pretty cool. And then last thing before we move on, I wanted to mention was this interesting game called Thirsty Suitors. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this.
Thirsty
Suitors.
Thirsty Suitors. No, I didn't see it.
It looks pretty stellar. It's basically like it's almost basically you could tell they took a lot of inspiration from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Nice.
And it's basically you're playing as this female that I think she's just kind of been coasting through life, like, and pissing off like all these like people in these relationships she's been in, and now they've like joined forces to like basically go and like make her life hell. So it's like a fighting game, but there's like you can kind of skateboard around this like Kind of looks like
Yeah.
some like sandbox areas, but like the style's really
I
cool.
like the art style. Yeah,
The
I'm looking at a few
yeah,
pictures right now. It looks really cool.
and you know, I mean it's pretty interesting. I would definitely keep an eye on that one. It's from Annapurna Games, and I think that might be like a sleeper hit next year as well. And it looks, yeah, so there's like fighting, you could skateboard. Looks like there's like little cooking challenges and stuff in there. Looks like a lot of fun.
Oh,
And
yeah, that's cool. I like it.
you know, the the protagonist and kind of the style that they're going for just feels a little different than what's in like a kind of I would say typical games.
Yeah.
And
Outer Loop Games is the developer. Interesting.
yeah, I haven't looked them up. I haven't seen what else they've done, but looks like it looks pretty interesting. So keep an eye
Yeah,
on that one.
for sure.
Okay, so let's move on to what the Game Awards is supposed to be about, which is awards. So I know that you didn't watch the Game Awards, so
No,
all of this stuff is
it's
kind of
all
new
it's
to
all
you.
new. All the nominees.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna hit a few of the big, kind of some of the bigger awards, and I guess we can get some live reactions from you as I do this. So let's see here. So some interesting ones. We have Best Family Game, which is typically like a Nintendo exclusive.
Metroid Dread.
Yeah, yeah. Nintendo typically cleans house here, but
Yeah.
so you had It Takes Two, Mario Party, new Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and then WarioWare. So you have all these Nintendo games, but It Takes Two won it.
Wow, It Takes Two.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You have that game, right? Did you play through it?
I still haven't played through it. Like we need to sit down and play through that game.
For sure, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to play through that game. It looks fantastic. And then you have like Best RPG, which you had Cyberpunk 2077 on there. You have Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise.
I'm surprised that Cyberpunk was nominated after all the backlash and all the not great reception.
Yeah, I would say on the RPG front, it's not a half bad game. But the award ended up going to Tales of Arise, which I've heard some great things about.
I haven't heard of that game.
Yeah, it's part of the Tales series. It's kind of like Final Fantasy, where they don't tie into one another, but apparently this one's pretty darn good. If you're into RPGs, I would look at that one.
Nice.
Best action/adventure game. I think this is an interesting category. So you have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, you have Metroid Dread, you have Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Psychonauts 2. So a pretty interesting list here.
RE Village counts as an action-adventure game?
I mean, where else are you going to put that?
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's true.
So the winner, Metroid Dread.
Wow, Metroid Dread.
Oh, yeah. Coming in hot, that Metroid Dread.
Wow.
And, I haven't played these other games on this list here as of yet, but I mean, Metroid Dread is pretty darn good. Moving on, best action game: Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. And best action game, and I think definitely deserves it, is Returnal.
Oh, Returnal, nice.
Man, as far as action goes, that game is absolutely insane. I mean, it is like balls to the wall, nonstop, just bullet hell action through that whole game, and I love every single minute of it.
It's cool that PS5 had 2 exclusives up there.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. What's some other interesting ones to go through? Here's a good one. Best debut indie game. You know what? Let's skip to best indie game. So, best indie game, you have 12 Minutes, you have Death's Door, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Inscription, and Loop Hero. And I think this award went exactly to the game that it should have gone to, and that's Kena Bridge of Spirits. The game is absolutely stellar.
Very nice, very nice. I feel like it's well deserved.
Yeah, I if you haven't played that game, please do yourself a favor and go check that out.
It's on my backlog.
Let's see here. Let's go up to Best Art Direction. You have Deathloop, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and The Artful Escape. And
Psychonauts?
If I had to give it to Best Art Direction to somebody here, I would actually give it to The Artful Escape, because that game is stunning and it's like so wild and different than like anything I've ever played. So like I recommend checking that one out if you haven't. But the winner went to Deathloop on this one.
Oh, nice. It did have that, what was like a 70s kind of like vintage kind of look to it. I remember the marketing for it was very like a not crime drama. Well, I guess crime drama.
Yeah. And and then Best Game Direction is, you know, kind of the same people in here. Like It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, and Deathloop, and that one also went to Deathloop.
Oh, nice.
Here's an interesting one. Best Narrative, in this between Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. It went to Guardians of the Galaxy. So I've heard some pretty good things about that story. I've been really wanting to play through that. So
yeah, you know, I heard it was a buddy of mine told me that he really liked it. Like that, he wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, or he wasn't expecting it to enjoy it as much as he did.
So
and
that's what I've heard from everybody.
Yeah, it is a Square game, right? Did Square do it?
Yeah, Square Enix.
Yeah, that's interesting because like coming off the Avengers, it's like, man, I thought it was gonna just be kind of like that, where it's just, you know, not great.
Yeah, for sure. And then finally, Game of the Year. So we have Deathloop, we have It Takes Two, we have Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. You have any guesses?
I mean, it's not Village. It can't be. I would, as much as I love Resident Evil. It Takes Two did win, you said Best Family Game, right?
Yep.
So, it's already won one Best Game category, so I feel like it could. Deathloop, I know you sung its praises a lot.
Pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Pretty stellar.
I mean, I want to say Deathloop. I mean, it seems like it would be the most logical choice.
Yeah, you would think that'd be the clear winner, and that's what I would have guessed going into this.
It's not.
But it actually went to It Takes Two.
Wow, It Takes Two won Best Game of the Year?
Yeah, which is like incredible.
Wow.
Considering like that's a small studio.
Yeah, like that's like, not. That seems. I don't want to say it's a sleeper hit, but like definitely like I didn't think it could win Game of the Year.
Yeah. So
impressive.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to play through that game, so we should find some time over the next week or two here to play through that. Because the other thing I want to do, maybe the last week of the show, for the year, I'd like to give our own awards out for at least a couple things. Like we should get at least a top 5 together for best games this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
best the decade. Well, past decade.
Yeah. So yeah, so we need to get some things off our backlog.
Oh, that's no pressure.
But yeah, so yeah, that's the Game Awards, man.
Very nice.
Interesting wins in there, and congrats to It Takes Two.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Joseph Ferris, man.
Isn't that A Way Out? Is A Way Out?
Yeah, Way Out. That's them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Hazelight. Yeah, they're great. And Joseph Ferris, I'm sure that guy's hysterical in my book. Like,
yeah. Good for them. Good for them. That's
seriously.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy for that studio. It just goes to show you, it's like just like, especially like a company like EA. I'm glad they're just letting them kind of do what they're doing, because like that's how you get good stuff. You just like let these like developers like make the games that they want to make, and get creative with them and do their own thing, and it's
And I love that it's like a couch co-op too.
Yeah,
I love that.
100%.
I love that aspect. It's like I miss the days of couch co-op games. It's always so much fun.
For sure. Okay, we're running out of time, so shall we do a round of You Nintendo Don't Know Jack?
Hit me.
Ooh, I got some toughies today. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if you can get some of these.
All right.
These are fun though. I think these are fun. So,
I like it.
Okay. First one. This is from the category history. First off, if you don't know this game, there's a series of flashcards from 1995 that are official Nintendo flashcards that have a bunch of nonsense questions and typically nonsense answers. I think today these answers are a little less nonsense, but man, these are fun. So I like to just throw some like wild curveballs at Hob to see if he Nintendo knows Jack.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So this is from the category history. Hav, when was Prohibition? And this is, Prohibition in the United States. I don't know of any other country's Prohibition, but when was Prohibition? Was it 1800 to 1850? Was it 1920 to 1933? Or was it 1963 to 1975?
I believe that would have been the 1920s. So was it 1920 to 1933? Was that it? Yeah, that one.
And let's take a peek, and ding, 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 you are correct.
Yeah.
Prohibition was from 1920 to 1933. In the U.S., from 1920 to 1933, it was illegal to make, sell, or transport alcoholic beverages. This time in history is known as Prohibition. And on the front here, we have a picture of Mario chasing a Goomba who has like
some moonshine,
some liquor. Yeah, some like moonshine or like some brown liquor. So
I love
just
that.
The fact that like Mario's just chasing down like a drunk Goomba or like
that's awesome.
Like a smuggler Goomba is like fantastic.
You should post that picture online.
On the back, we just have some like gangsters.
Some very generic looking 1920s gangsters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, sheep. Yeah.
So I thought that one was pretty good.
I like that. I really like that picture.
Moving on. So let's do this one next. This one might be a toughie. We'll see. So this is from Art, Sports, and Leisure. Hav, where are the oldest known cave paintings? Were they in Michigan and Arkansas? Were they in Korea and Japan?
Michigan and Arkansas?
Yeah.
Are they even near each other?
These are just the places with the oldest known cave paintings. So it's either Michigan and Arkansas. It's either or it's Korea and Japan, or it's France and Spain.
So we've got on one hand we've got two states, and then the other ones are countries.
Yep.
So I feel like it's one of the countries because it got more ground to cover.
Yeah, I don't even know if Michigan and Arkansas have caves.
It just seems so random. And then Korea and Japan. What was the other one? France and
Spain.
France and Spain. Korea and Japan. They don't mention which Korea.
Just all of Korea.
Just all of the Koreas. And Japan.
Oldest known cave paintings.
Let's go with France and Spain. They're artistic countries. You know, maybe the art's a lot of art history there.
They
so.
sure are, and
Woo!
they are the oldest known cave paintings are in France and Spain. Prehistoric humans carved and painted simple figures on cave walls. Cave art is believed to have flourished for 20,000 years until about 10,000 BC when it suddenly disappeared. It wasn't cool to paint in caves anymore. So on the front here, we have a picture of Luigi in a cave looking at cave paintings.
That's awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Hey, that's Luigi with a flashlight. That's like pre-Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah. This is where it came from.
I like that. Maybe.
And then on the back, you just have a nice cave painting of a boar or cow or something.
Little cow. That's cool.
Yeah. Little cow guy. All right, you're 2 for 2.
I'm going to choose to believe that that's where Nintendo got some inspiration for Luigi's Mansion.
I like to think so, too.
Luigi with a flashlight.
That's going to be his next game. It's going to be in, creepy caves.
Looking at paintings.
All right. So I think this next one's tricky. We'll see.
We'll
see if you Nintendo don't know Jack. So this one is also from history. How did American Indian nomads travel before they had horses?
On their feet. I mean.
So, and, obviously this is in 95, so, the wording here is a little off. It should be like American and indigenous, nomads and all that. But, as far as what the card says here, how did American Indian nomads travel before they had horses? Was it using dogs, using camels, or using llamas?
I'm going to say no to the camels. I don't think they're indigenous to this part of the world. Mm-hmm. Llamas are interesting because the Emperor's New Groove takes place with Native American, it's Central American, I think, but technically it's all connected, the Americas. So I'm going to say llamas because of the Emperor's New Groove. Because llamas are associated with Native American, South American, sure, but still Native American.
So, I liked where your head was, was going with that, but it was actually dogs.
You tell me they rode dogs?
So before the horse was available in America, Indian nomads used dogs to pull loads. So between 1650 and 1800, American Indians first saw horses. They called them large dogs because, like the dogs the Indians used, the horses transported supplies for the white settlers.
Damn.
So
Emperor's New Groove betrayed me.
And, I didn't know this one either. That's a tricky one right there. Yeah. Yeah,
well, I knew horses were introduced by the, conquistadors and,
European settlers.
Yeah, the European settlers. But I just thought, Emperor's New Groove. That's where my mindset was at. But
where did that take place?
It was like the Incans or Mayans. Yeah. It's one of those native tribes of Central or South America.
Yeah, I to be honest, I really don't remember anything about Emperor's New Groove. I straight up thought it took place in like Italy or something.
Oh man, that movie's funny. You should check it out.
Yeah. I remember watching it a long time ago, but I really don't remember too much from it. But I know it's a fan favorite for a lot of people.
Man, if you have an hour and a half to spare, it's really David Spade is really funny, and it's just a funny movie.
Oh, David Spade.
He's the emperor. He's the llama.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a funny movie, and I think John Goodman is whatever his name is.
John Goodman's in that?
Yeah, dude.
What is happening?
He plays the big guy, Paco? No, not Paco, or Poncho? No, I forget his name. But the big guy. He plays the big guy.
All right. Well, I guess I have to go check out Emperor's New Groove.
It's funny, man. It's a funny movie.
All right, well, that is our show. We are
what's
officially out of
what's
time.
the picture on there?
Oh, this is a good one.
The Mario artwork. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, this is a really good one. So it's Mario riding Yoshi through the desert.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that one. And then on the back here, they they have like some indigenous people with like
with a horse
dogs.
and a dog.
Yeah, a horse and a dog, like just like, you know, the dog's just like pulling stuff for them. So I guess the dogs just kind of worked like like huskies and you know, like
like a sled dog, but like
yeah, it's basically a sled dog. Just like kind of pulling stuff, I guess.
Yeah, but they didn't really ride them.
Yeah, they didn't really ride them, which, you know, they kind of make it unclear in this terrible card.
it's more really like the dogs pulled stuff for them.
Yeah, it's basically like before, like, you know, horses, like, would, you know, indigenous people, like, you know, pull crap with. That's what they should have said, you know? Because, you know, they just walked. They just, like, walked with their feet.
Yeah, like, they didn't ride the dogs.
I don't know. Get with it, Nintendo.
That's funny.
Where's our new 2022 cards?
Oh, man, if they did that, that'd be awesome.
I need a fresh deck. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this week. Remember that these go out every Wednesday. And man, we're coming up on episode 100. So stick around for all that fun stuff. We have a few more episodes to kind of get through here.
Yeah.
And you know, I just realized something. I'm so stupid. So I've been thinking, oh, there's 3 weeks left in the year. There's 3 episodes because we're at 97, but technically it'd be 4 episodes.
Yes. Yep. That's math.
I'm so stupid. I was like, oh yeah, 3 episodes, but nope, there's definitely 4 more episodes. So, you know, you get us for 1 extra week, everybody.
Yeah. Well, now there's going to be 3 left.
Yeah, after this post. But yeah, so yeah, I think in the next like week or two we'll do our kind of game of the year type suggestions and stuff. I think that would be fun. So
sure.
Yeah, stick around, everybody. Check us out next Wednesday for a new episode at youtube.com/multiplayer. Podcast services. Check us out at Patreon at patreon.com/multiplayer. Be sure to find us over at Instagram at GoMultiplayer. You can find me at Zach Matzganis. That's ZACKMATZGANIS. Sorry, that name is so long. I did not come up with it. I guess my.
You can change your your Twitter or your Instagram handle.
I could. That's I just use my name. It just happens to be a long name. But where can we find you?
Same place. Instagram at loverboy_Huff.
Word. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next week. And of course, remember
that we love you. You should love you too.
We love you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week. Peace. We here at Multiplayer would like to give a huge special thank you to Kevin Hopkins, William Euchre, and the rest of our amazing Patreon community. If you'd like to support our podcast and get a shout out at the end of each show, be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/multiplayer. See you next time, players. We love ya!